Has anyone ever told you that life after the 80s can feel like stepping into unfamiliar territory? Even the most resilient and self-reliant people can find themselves facing challenges they never saw coming. In today's video, we'll explore 5 tough but eye-opening truths that often emerge in our 80s, truths that few talk about openly. These aren't just the usual health stats or aches and pains. These are the quiet, more personal shifts in how people interact with you differently, how your relationship with time evolves, and how memories begin to carry unexpected weight. You might recognize some of these changes already, those subtle feelings you couldn't quite explain. Others may catch you completely off guard, but there's one thing they all have in common. They reshape how we experience the later chapters of life. And while they can be difficult to face, understanding them can bring a deeper sense of calm, meaning, and even strength. So stay with us, because there's real power in putting words to what you're going through and realizing you're not in this alone. Now let's get started. Number 1, how minor health issues can quickly escalate. One of the more sobering realities that often catches people off guard in their 80s is how quickly small health issues can snowball into major ones. A mild cold that once cleared up in a few days now lingers for weeks. A minor bruise doesn't fade, it stays around, healing slowly. And a slight stumble, which might have gone unnoticed years ago, can suddenly lead to weeks of recovery, physical therapy, or even surgery. It's not just that the body slows down, it's that its ability to bounce back becomes less predictable. The safety margin that once cushioned your body through life's little mishaps begins to narrow. Something as simple as skipping a meal or not drinking enough water can now leave you feeling drained, dizzy, or unwell. You might still feel strong, and in many ways you are. But that quiet resilience that once worked behind the scenes now requires more of your attention. What used to happen automatically, healing, recovery, and energy, now demands care, intention, and patience. This change is rarely talked about openly. Doctors might chalk it up to just aging, and loved ones may not fully grasp what you're going through. But you notice the shift. You feel how much longer it takes to get your strength back. You recognize the emotional toll of the frustration of realizing your body doesn't cooperate the way it once did. And if you've always prided yourself on being active, capable, and self-reliant, this new reality can feel like a betrayal. But here's the empowering truth. Awareness is a form of strength. By tuning into your body's signals, you can make smarter choices, ones that preserve your energy rather than deplete it. You can rest more without feeling like you're giving up. You can stay hydrated, eat regularly, and treat your body with the compassion it deserves. This stage of life isn't about proving you're invincible. It's about honoring the strength you still have by taking better care of it. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is allow yourself the time and space to heal completely. If you're watching this video and finding it helpful, drop a number 1 in the comments to show me you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. That's all about supporting you. Your support means everything and helps us keep creating content that truly makes a difference. Number 2. The quiet collapse of social circles. One of the more subtle but deeply felt realities of life after 80 is how your social world begins to shrink. The phone still rings now and then, and visitors occasionally stop by, but something's changed, not just in how often it happens, but in how it feels. What once was a steady rhythm of friendship and interaction now feels scattered, unpredictable, and at times fragile. Friends move away. Others face health struggles. Some pass on. Family members, wrapped up in their busy routines, don't always notice the growing distance. The days feel longer, the silence heavier. It's not about resentment. It's about recognizing a shift that few people are willing to speak openly about. After 80, keeping in touch becomes harder, not just logistically, but emotionally. The invitations slow down, the catch-ups become fewer and farther between. And even if you've never craved constant company, the quiet moments feel louder than they used to. You might find yourself reminiscing more, not just out of sadness, but as a way to hold on to the people and moments that mattered. A shared laugh, a routine morning chat, or a simple handshake that once felt ordinary now feels like a gift. These memories become anchors, and it's okay to feel this shift deeply. It's not a sign of weakness, nor is it textbook loneliness. It's a quiet human response to something that touches nearly everyone, but is rarely named. Why it becomes more important than ever to stay connected, not just to others, but to yourself, to your story, to a few meaningful relationships, even if they can be counted on one hand. Because when the noise of the crowd fades, what remains is the depth of a few real connections, and those can mean more than 100 casual friendships ever did. Number 3. The quiet disappearance from the spotlight. Perhaps one of the most disorienting experiences after 80 is how easily you begin to fade from view, not intentionally, not out of cruelty, but through a quiet cultural shift that few acknowledge. You walk into a room and the atmosphere no longer changes. You speak, and conversations sometimes move on before you've finished your thought. People talk over you, not to be rude, but because they assume you're done. It's not simply being ignored, it's the subtle erosion of visibility, a feeling that the world around you, fast-paced and youth-centered, no longer makes space for your voice as it once did. And no one warns you about this, it creeps in. You begin to notice it at family gatherings, doctor visits, and even in casual social spaces. It can feel as if your age enters the room before you do, as if your history, your perspective, your lived wisdom are glanced over in favor of what's newer, louder, faster. This shift can bring with it an unexpected kind of grief, not dramatic but persistent, a sadness that your presence, which once commanded attention or sparked conversation, is now overlooked. It may stir frustration too, especially when you know that what you have to share carries more insight than ever. But here's where your strength quietly rises. This fading is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of a society still learning how to honor its elders. Your stories still matter. Your presence still holds weight. And while not everyone may recognize it right away, those who truly listen, who pause to hear your humor, your reflections, your truth, those people do exist, and they do care. So don't shrink back. Don't let the silence redefine you. Speak up, not to be loud, but to be heard. You are the steady reminder of what endurance looks like, what grace under pressure sounds like, what wisdom forged over a lifetime feels like. You may no longer be the center of attention, but you are the keeper of something deeper, lived experience. And in a noisy world, that quiet strength is more powerful than most realize. If you're still watching this video and finding it helpful, drop a number 3 in the comments to show me you're with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the time to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. That's all about supporting you. Your support means everything and helps us keep creating content that truly makes a difference. Number 4, the unpredictability of your own body. After 80, your body starts to send mixed signals, often at the most inconvenient times. One morning you wake up feeling sharp, steady on your feet, and ready to take on whatever the day throws your way. But the next, something shifts. You're slower, foggier, and suddenly you can't quite pinpoint why your knees feel stiff or why your hands can't hold that coffee cup the same way they used to. What makes this particularly unsettling isn't just the physical discomfort. It's the feeling of betrayal. You've trusted this body for decades, You've relied on it. And now, without warning, it seems to change the rules on you with no explanation. You plan to take a walk only to be hit by a wave of exhaustion. You didn't anticipate. You bend down to tie your shoes only to realize it takes longer to stand up than it ever did before. Or maybe a dizzy spell, a tingling sensation, or a strange stiffness comes and goes without warning. And here's the part no one talks about. This unpredictability doesn't just affect your body, it affects your confidence. Suddenly, you hesitate before leaving the house, not because you can't, but because you don't know how your body will behave that day. The uncertainty makes you feel smaller, more vulnerable, and even unsure in situations where you once felt strong. But here's a comforting truth. While your body may no longer be as reliable as it once was, your response to it can be. Flexibility becomes your ally. Adaptability, your greatest tool. You begin to plan differently, pace yourself better, and treat yourself with more patience and understanding instead of frustration. You learn to listen more closely to your body, recognizing when it needs rest, when it needs movement, when it needs care. You speak to your doctor not only when something's wrong, but also to gain a better understanding of how to stay one step ahead of the changes. Knowledge and awareness, even in the face of uncertainty, bring back a sense of control. So no, your body might not be as predictable or steady as it once was, but through experience and mindfulness, you still hold the reins. Your strength isn't just in how well your body moves, it's in how you adapt, care for, and respond to it with the wisdom you've gained over the years. Number 5, the narrowing of your daily life. As you age beyond 80, one of the hardest parts isn't just what changes inside your body, but what slowly fades away on the outside. The world you once knew, filled with familiar faces, routines, and places, begins to feel smaller. And it doesn't happen all at once. It happens bit by bit. You might find yourself going out less, not because you've lost interest, but because everything feels just a little farther away, more tiring, or harder to navigate. Friends who once dropped by might move away, fall ill, or pass on. Neighbors come and go. Favorite spots close down. Your world doesn't collapse, it just quietly shrinks. And that in itself carries emotional weight. At first, the loneliness may seem like background silence, almost unnoticed. But over time, it grows heavier, even. For those who've always prided themselves on their independence, something is unsettling about watching the familiar drift away. It's a quiet sadness, the grief of watching the life you once knew fade, not because you've stopped trying, but because you cared so deeply. But here's a truth worth holding on to. While your old world may shrink, there's still room for a new one to grow. This growth might not come from grand travels or adventures, but from something even more meaningful, deeper conversations, a bond with someone younger, or the sharing of memories in ways you've never done before. Life doesn't have to be vast to be rich. It just needs to stay meaningful. So, make that call, even if it's long distance. Join that virtual group, even if it's online. Take that short walk, even if it's just to the end of the street. Your world may look different now, but it's not finished. It's changing, and there's still plenty of room for laughter, connection, and joy. Now, let's move on. Final thoughts. We've just walked through 5 harsh realities that often emerge after the age of 80, each one surprising in its own way, and each one quietly shifting how we experience the world. From the thinning of close relationships to the physical unpredictability that sneaks up when we least expect it, these changes can often catch us off guard. But here's the truth. Acknowledging these shifts isn't about giving in to decline. It's about stepping into your life with eyes wide open so you can live it more fully, more wisely, and more freely. What stood out to you the most? Which of these 5 realities have you noticed in your own life or the lives of those close to you? We'd love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below and share one takeaway from today's video and how you plan to respond to it. Whether it's releasing regret, reaching out to someone you've grown distant from, or simply treating your body with more compassion, your experience might be the one that lifts someone else. Because at the end of the day, growing older doesn't mean losing worth. It means gaining perspective. And when we face these realities together, we build strength not just within ourselves, but in one another. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Your thoughts and feedback matter, so please leave a comment below and share one thing you took away from today's video and how you plan to apply it in your life. Don't hold back. Reading through your comments brings us real encouragement and energy. If you found this video meaningful or useful, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share. Your support helps Grow with Wisdom continue producing thoughtful content to uplift and inform. Thank you for watching this video, and we can't wait to connect with you in the next video.